Hey guys, I have a bit of a useless video today. And as of yesterday, we had the Gamescom reveal for Black Ops 7. We weren't really shown much, if I'm all honest, and I'm not really impressed what I saw with Black Ops 7. If you want to learn more, I made a video about everything we know so far, multiplayer campaign and zombies. I'll leave a video. I'll leave that video down in the link in the description. And then also, if you want to learn more about Black Ops 7 zombies, I'll leave a link down in the description of Mr. Dalek JD's video and Mr. Waffle's video down in the description rather, so you guys can learn more about zombies. But that being said, rewinding back to The Reckoning, the last DLC, the last Zombies DLC map for Black Ops 6, the end cutscene gave us the OG crew, that being Nikolai, Richtofen, Dempsey, and Takio. So far, we've only heard one of them speak, and I'm not entirely sure if it is Nolan North. I'm really hoping it is. But that being said, one of the uniform for Richtofen speaks very loudly in that intro cutscene. Well, I guess technically it would be the intro cutscene because it goes into the actual cutscene that we seen yesterday of the characters. But that being said, ever since the end cutscene for The Reckoning, my military history collection and autism just kicked in, and it really makes me want to just break down his uniform and make a video on it for those who actually care. And this might be some symbolism of what's to come storyline wise and map wise for Black Ops 7 Zombies. Now, I do apologize that I'm all over the place. I'm not really scripting this video. I'm just kind of going off the cuff and from research that I've done and all the books that I owe. So, Richtofen's uniform that we see inside of the end cutscene and from the image they actually gave us yesterday, it's very similar to... I kept saying it's very similar to Von List's uniform from the Call of Duty Vanguard storyline. And the only piece that's really similar to that is the thing going on with Richtofen's visor cap. And then it's also reminiscent of Richtofen's attire from Call of Duty World at War. So, enough with the blue balling. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start with this screenshot here I took from the end cutscene, and we're going to start off in his visor cap here. Now, again, I just want to preference, there's a very, very high symbolism of the SS inside of Richtofen's uniform here. Not much of it screams Wehrmacht, which is just the standard German army, besides the breast eagle, which we'll get to here in a second. So to start off with this visor cap, it's just a standard SS or Waffen-SS officer visor cap. It's got gray. Here in this image, it looks white. The piping looks white around the top of it, but later we will actually see that it's red, and we'll get to why red is significant here. And then next up, we have the Waffen-SS Eagle, or the SS Eagle, but just the wings. And then we have a circle with oak leaves, maybe oak leaves, and then a red background with a skull. Now again, I just also want to preference, probably none of this matters that I'm pointing this out, but the fact that Treyarch went out of their way to make Richtofen's uniform like this and highly resemble his Ultimus form or his World at War uniform, it's a lot different, but it does resemble that as well. And then we have the black and white band going around it. Now, originally, if we were going off real war SS caps, this would have the Totenkopf, and then above the cap would be a SS Eagle, but obviously they changed that. There's nothing on the top of the cap, and then in the middle of the band is those SS Eagle wings with the circle in the red background with the skull. It probably, to make his character seem a little bit more terrifying, they could have just put the Totenkopf in the middle of that circle. We have the Iron Cross second class ribbon. Valor, basically the Iron Cross was the equivalent of the Medal of Honor for Nazi Germany. A lot of generals and a lot of soldiers in the SS, in the Waffen-SS, and even in the Wehrmacht got pretty high versions of the Iron Cross. Next up, just below it, we have a medal attached to the satchel strap that he has, and this medal is actually a Bandit Warfare badge, which was awarded to Army members, Luftwaffe, Order Police, and Waffen-SS. But again, image on screen, here's what the badge looks like in comparison to the chest of Richtofen, and it looks very, very similar to the Bandit Warfare badge. So now we're actually going to move on to the next picture that they revealed yesterday, which gave us a little bit better look at Richtofen's uniform. Moving on from down from the chest is in the end cutscene. I'll try and put a different image on screen right here, but on the end cutscene on the bottom right of on the bottom right of the screen, it looked like there was an infantry wound badge next to the star-looking medal. But actually, if we go back to this new image that they gave us, if you guys remember in the Black Ops 3 Days of Zombies, any of the maps that had anything to do with Germans or Nazi Germany at that point would be all of the eagles and all of the swastikas were replaced with this weird concoction of eagle wings with a wolf head. It was especially noticeable inside of the Giant and Der Eisendrache. Some of the King Tigers around the map for Der Eisendrache, you especially could look at that tank, and that wolf head with the eagles on each side of it was very pronounced, and that's exactly what this badge is. Now, I don't know what this symbolizes inside of Black Ops 7's Zombies storyline for Richtofen. They probably won't even mention it. And then next up, if we look at the same image from the Reckoning and cutscene, we have a medal that I originally thought was the Star of the German Order. I did a little bit more research and actually came to find out that it is actually the Star of the Grand Cross, which is also called the Star of the Grand Cross of the Iron Cross. And there was none of these medals that made it out in World War II. I think there was only one that was ever produced. And there's a prototype medal floating around somewhere, and this was basically the highest award that you could get in Nazi Germany at the time. And it looks like Richtofen has it. So I'm kind of hoping there's a backstory with Richtofen that Treyarch gives us, so we can learn a little bit more as to why he has a Bandit Warfare badge, some kind of concoction of a combat badge or an infantry badge or a wound badge, on top of Star of the Grand Cross of the Iron Cross. Moving up on Richtofen's left side of his breast, which is a standard army breast eagle, but it's actually a pin. So it's the Wehrmacht Eagle, or the Party Eagle, rather, and then under it says 1939. They've kind of retconned a lot of things since World at War, and there's a lot of conflicting information and details going around, specifically about Richtofen's character, as whether Richtofen joined the Nazi Party or if he wasn't. His original backstory stated that he was a part of the Nazi Party, and there was a lot of like beware of the doctor, and his nickname was the Butcher, and he was just a clinically insane psychotic Nazi inside of the Nazi Party. But later that actually got retconned and said that he didn't like that Maxis asked the Nazi government for help and stuff with his experiments. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to stick with the World at War version of Richtofen, which is this one is pulling heavy influence from, and it just makes more sense for the storyline, and it makes Richtofen an even more scarier character when you really dig down deep and think about it. Now we're going to move on to the shoulder boards. I'm kind of blue-balling you with the Group 935 shield here. Now, this one I'm a little bit, not concerned, a little bit confused about, because the shoulder boards go alongside his rank here. Now, I mentioned the shoulder boards. Quickly, I'm going to mention the color. Now, the color is red. In the German army, alongside of the German Waffen, alongside the Wehrmacht and Waffen-SS, the color red for piping, you can see on his hat too, it's red, signifies that he's a part of the artillery, whether that's the SS or the Wehrmacht. They both use the same color red for artillery units. So This is probably just something Treyarch didn't even really care to research, and they just made it red for shits and giggles. But the top part, the border here, does match the rank. Now, if we move on to the shield here, it is the Group 935 shield. Well, emblem inside of a shield with gold outlining in a black background, rather. Notice as well, inside the shield, 935, the numbers are not there. It does kind of look like it says 115, so you can kind of see a 1 there and then a 5 there, but there's no 935, so it's a bit weird. Kind of did the same thing with the 935 shield here, and this 100% is Obersturmbannführer, or it also could be the Obersturmschaftführer or something like that, but it's definitely one of those two, because you can definitely see Ober, and then you can definitely see Sturm. So, yeah, the clearest ones here are the W''SS. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out there, because I was doing a little bit more photoshopping to see if I could make this more clear. Can't believe I actually forgot this, but Richtofen's character also on this trench coat has a cuff title. Now, cuff titles were usually, for the most part, SS and Waffen-SS, and usually they were synonymous with Waffen-SS divisions like Große Deutschland, or Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler, or Heinrich Himmler, or I think Hermann Göring, and etc. etc. And then you had the Hitler Union division, and so on and so on. So just like his Ultimus character, who also had a cuff title on his blouse, Richtofen in this game also has another cuff title. But again, it's just odd to me that it's not 935. So it makes me think maybe this is like a divisional patch inside of Group 935. So maybe like the higher ups actually wear like a 935 in white, and then the people who are part of the 115 division of 935 have a shield with the logo in gold, and then this one inside of the 935 emblem says 115. That this version of Richtofen is a part of the SS. Like, Treyarch went out of their way to make sure to let us know that this version, which is ultimately probably resembling the World at War version of Richtofen, the Ultimus Richtofen, he's a part of the SS. So why would Treyarch go out of their way to blatantly tell us that he's a part of the SS? If we look at his shoulder boards, the red and the silver and the winding pattern on top of the shoulder boards matches my theory and Obersturmbannführer, Lieutenant Colonel, of what Lieutenant Colonel shoulder boards would be. It matches really, really fucking close. And again, that red piping signifies that he's a part of an artillery unit. But yeah, there we have it. There is Richtofen's uniform. There's not really much I can say about it other than he's got a Kochgeschirr, which is basically what all German troops, whether it was from the Waffen-SS or the Wehrmacht, would have to eat. It was just kind of a mess tin. He's got that in the back of his belt. And then he's got a pistol pouch, which probably resembles more of a P38, maybe a Luger pistol pouch, holster, rather. It's on the correct side, too. If you look at German officers at the time, it is on that awkward side. I don't know why they did it that way. And then we have some random, like, modern-day style pouches. Those look nothing like any World War II era pouches from what I can remember. And then yeah, that's pretty much all we have of his uniform. We have that Bandit Warfare badge, we have the star of the Grand Cross of the Iron Cross, we have that weird looking medal that kind of resembles an infantry combat badge or a wound badge. Then we have the Nazi Party Eagle badge, pin, excuse me, that's got 1939 written on it. In this version, he's more Vietnam style. He's got Vietnam style Alice harness going around with the Alice belt, and he's got like an M18 smoke grenade. He's got the Vietnam style flak jacket that our GIs were told that it was going to stop bullets, which it didn't, and our GIs never really wore them in Vietnam because the flak vest is just too heavy. We obviously got the Alice gear pack in the back with a canteen, and he's got this modern day radio, modern day pouches here. These pants, I can't really point out anything. They kind of resemble, I don't know, it's just a weird concoction. Then we have Takio here that looks straight up like a 17th century samurai or something like that. Pretty cool. We can see his katana here on his back here. And the biggest one that looks different to me is Nikolai. Nikolai looks nothing like the Ultimus or Primus version. This is a completely different version of Nikolai. And honestly, it kind of looks like Reznov. This looks more Reznov than it does Nikolai, in my opinion. And something my brother actually mentioned that I kind of see it. It looks like they took Reznov and Chernov from the World at War campaign and mashed those two character models together, and this is what the Nikolai looks like for Black Ops 7 Zombies. We might be getting World at War or maybe Black Ops 1 remastered maps inside of Black Ops 7. Maybe like a Zombies Chronicle 2 where it comes with the World at War maps, the Black Ops 1 maps completely remade, and then it also comes with the ones that weren't remade in Zombie Chronicles 1. And just, man, I just keep looking at Richtofen's uniform, and I keep thinking that we're going to get a Nocturne Tone, a Verrucht, a Shino Numa, and a Derice, like, reimagined inside the Dark Ether, because we're already getting Transit. Who's to say we're not going to get all of the Ether maps remastered or remade, reimagined inside the Dark Ether? Kind of like a Revelations take on that. I'd be down for that, but considering that Black Ops 7 Zombies is basically just Black Ops 6 Zombies 2.0, it makes me very worried in the gameplay loop. Like, I feel like they really need to force the classic Zombies formula down everyone's throat. And I'd be happy with it. Like a classic Zombies HUD, maybe it looks very similar to Black Ops 2 Zombies HUD. And like bring back the classic zombie point system, preferably Black Ops 3 because that was like the best point system. Like all the systems from classic zombies. I know basically there's been a lot of rumors going around that Black Ops 7 Zombies is going to have a classic mode, but honestly, like I feel like the standard mode should be exactly how we've been playing zombies since before Cold War. So I don't know. Just makes me think, just based off of Richtofen's uniform, that we're going to be getting and seeing reimagined Dark Ether versions of all of the Ether maps, from World at War to Black Ops 3, maybe even Black Ops 4. And I think that would just be fucking badass. I would love that, because I'm not a fan of this Dark Ether storyline. I'm just not. I don't care about it. I think the reason why the OG crew is back is because they're just like, hey, look, we're going to play on your nostalgic heartstrings, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think the story is going to be bland. I think it's going to be boring, but I have hopes, and I want to be proven wrong. So if I keep yapping, the video is going to be even longer than it is. I do apologize for being all over the place in this video. If you find it interesting, let me know. I don't think this video is going to get much traction. I don't think anyone's going to really like this video, but it's just an observation as a military history nerd and who collects all these old medals and historic pictures, medals, etc. I have a huge collection of like German helmets, American helmets, German medals, German post stamps, American post stamps from the time, a bunch of all of that stuff. And when I saw Richtofen's uniform, I was like, I need to go on Autistic Screeching and make a video just solely on Richtofen's uniform. And I'm really hoping we get some more about his backstory on how this came to be, you know? So without further ado, like, comment, subscribe, ding the notification bell so you guys know when I upload next. And yeah, we'll just see for the future in what Black Ops 7 Zombies holds.